Hi there, folks. Marc with Maple Capital Partners, and I am here to speak with a partner and close friend, Ted Caputo, about his involvement with a charity that's a really special cause. I wanted to talk more with him about that cause and what they're up to today. So, Ted, maybe you can give us a little bit of background on kind of how you got involved and what really the cause is that you're supporting.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is great to talk about. So I have three kids. I have a daughter and two sons. My two sons were born with a vision impairment. And basically, what that is in a normal eye, your lens is kind of centered and it's held on with strings. And my son's strings were not working the right way. So their lenses were dislocated. So we had to make the difficult decision of having the lenses removed, which made them legally blind. But through correction, and surgeries and other things. They're actually seeing very well today after years of making progress on that. So through being vision impaired, we're on different email lists. And through those lists, we heard about something called blind hockey. Now, at the time, I didn't know anything about blind hockey or what it was, but I did know that my kids were very interested in hockey. And as a family, we're very into volunteering. We've done, Guide Dog Foundation. I'm a volunteer fireman. We just love to give back. So I was thinking, you know what? This could be a really good opportunity for us to help others in the sport. So what happened was blind hockey was created in Canada and they brought it to upstate New York originally. And then it spread throughout the country, but there was never a team in the New York metropolitan area, which is crazy to think, in such a large city that they wouldn't have something like that. So somebody asked me if I'd be willing to bring my boys so they could participate. And we got super excited, but then he disappeared, fell off the map. I couldn't find them. And I got so disappointed because it seemed like the best thing ever for my family, hockey and volunteering. So I contacted USA Hockey and I spoke to them about what this man told me and how excited I was and when's the next time that we could come down and get involved. And they said, well, we don't have anybody to do that. Would you be willing to do that? And I kind of laughed because I don't mind heading things up and leading things, but I am not an athlete. I never played hockey. I could barely skate. So it didn't seem like the best venture for me to get into. But, I think like anything else in life, you have to surround yourself with the right people, right? Even in real estate, we might not know everything. Obviously you're very good at underwriting. So you used to take on that. I would do the broker relations and you just kind of create a team. So that's what I did. Create a team of volunteers off the ice, on the ice. I got a certified coach and I've been building the team ever since. So it's really been a lot of fun. And, I think we started 5 years ago and we're up and running and it's just a really cool thing. So that was the New York portion of this. It's established. It's good. We have good sponsors, good fundraising. Since then, I moved to South Carolina and there's no team down here in Charlotte or Raleigh. So I'm trying to take that on now and start a team. It's kind of hard to start things from scratch, but I'm going to give it a try. I had the support of all the local blind organizations here, and we're going to see what we could do down here.
That's so awesome, Ted. And to give our viewers a little bit better of an idea, you all put on tournaments and events like that attract other teams to kind of compete together in hockey as well?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's not as big as traditional hockey or travel hockey or college hockey. We're getting there. We're spreading across the US, Canada, overseas. But what we typically do on a local level is we'll have a practice between 2 and 4 times a month. We'll get the players out there. They'll kind of learn the game. We'll have different people come out, like a goalie coach or a skating coach, and then we'll encourage them to take lessons on the side, during the week at their home rink and do that. So, and I guess I should explain the sport, right? Exactly what it is. Yeah. So blind hockey was developed for people that are low vision or blind. Not everybody that is called or classified blind is totally blind. So basically what we do is we accept on the local level, I'll accept anybody with any vision loss, regardless of their age or skill. But if you want to go to the national level, there are classifications. They range from B1 to B3. B1 is the least sight and B3 is the most sight. But generally, it's about 10% vision or less. So not everybody has the same condition. Some people have, only peripheral or only pinhole or just blurry vision. So we accept anybody in. And what we do is we have an adapted form of ice hockey. And basically, the biggest difference between the two is the puck. The puck is about 3 times bigger than a traditional puck. It's metal and it's filled with ball bearings. So the people that have low vision could see it a little bit better because it's large. And the people with very little vision could hear it with the ball bearings. And then when you have a game, like a national level game, there's a point system. So you can't have too many people that are B1 or too many people that are B3. So it's a kind of a mix of everybody. And there's a lot of communication on the ice. So the people with some sight have to communicate with the people with almost no sight. And I tell you, if you were looking through a glass and you weren't hearing the noise that it was making, you would think that it's traditional hockey because it moves just as fast, just as fun. There is no checking. There's a lot of unintentional hitting because of the vision, but everybody's a pretty good sport about that. And it's just great. It's great. I love doing it. I love the volunteers that come down. They get so much out of it. They always ask when the next one is so they can come back. The other part of this is the community that we build. So I always say it's more important to me what happens off the ice than what happens on the ice because we develop friendships. You could just imagine, you're a 15-year-old kid, you're losing your vision. How many people in your high school are going through the same challenges that you are? Really, not many at all. So by joining a sport, it doesn't have to be hockey. Obviously, that's my favorite, but you join another blind sport, it brings you together with people that face the same challenges. So we take road trips. We've been to St. Louis. We've been to Toronto. We've been all over the place. And, it's just great seeing, like, especially my son, he's 20 now, but over the past 5 years, he's developed friends from, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Maine. And when they get together at an event, they just kind of feel like they fit in. They have the same issues at school, the same issues with girls, same issues with accessibility, their phone not working. So it's really a cool thing, building that bond on and off the ice.
That's amazing. So it's basically you're creating community through the sport. And what I love about that too, about the actual sport, is when I watch hockey on TV, and I don't watch hockey all that much, but I have a hard time sometimes following the puck. So I imagine watching this in person, seeing a puck that's a little bit bigger might even be a little bit more entertaining for myself because I'd be able to actually follow what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's got to be cool. That's got to be really gratifying to see these kids who, in other circumstances, might feel like they're at a disadvantage to be empowered and surrounded by people that are going through the same thing as them on the ice and all competing together, playing as a team.
Absolutely, yeah. And believe me, we range from 12 years old to 60 years old. So it's not just a kid sport. The best thing that we have is, for instance, one of our players, Josh, he used to play roller hockey all his life. And then he lost his vision. He is like a hockey fanatic. He knows everything about hockey. He knows stats. He knows everything. But when he lost his vision, he quit and he gave up because he didn't know about blind hockey. And just by chance, one day he's washing the dishes in his kitchen. The news is on the TV. And here I am. I'm on Ernie Anastas on Fox 5. He hears it and he's like, wow, I didn't know anything about that. He came down thinking that he was going to be a helper. We're like, no, it doesn't matter your age or anything. You could play. Long story short, he's now on Team USA. He went all the way from quitting, giving up, to now playing for the national team. So, one of our biggest challenges is getting the word out. That's where we suffer. We're in social media. We're trying to partnership with the NHL. We give talks at local foundations. But it's a tough sell. I mean, listen, anybody that has not played before, to tell them to strap on skates and play a game of hockey, it's a tough sell. And we get it, so we try to start them small. Sometimes what we do is we keep them in their sneakers. And what we do is we get a wiffle ball and we fill that with like jingle bells. And we'll say you can play on a gym, and then we'll transition them to skating lessons. And then we'll try to marry the two together. So we're there for everybody, regardless of skill, and we'll teach you. And every practice, the coach has a very difficult job because, as you can imagine, multiple age levels, multiple skill levels. So we rely on our coaches and our volunteers, and they do a great job.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I almost think of what you're doing as you're empowering these people, some of which have never played hockey before, which is amazing to me, to get on the ice. I mean, I don't skate, and it actually is kind of terrifying to me to be out there, with that puck floating around. But for somebody who's never played before, to then go out and do it, and to again feel empowered that they can, still live their life, still continue to compete and build those bonds that they have for a lifetime. That's an amazing gift that you're giving to that group. So definitely salute the work that you all do. Now, for the folks that are interested and have heard your story and a little bit more about this cause, how can they get involved, or how can they either give of their time or their money to support this cause?
Yeah, great question. So it's funny, when I entered this, I always thought that the most difficult thing would be fundraising, and the easiest thing would be kind of getting the program going and recruiting players. And it is totally opposite. So there's a lot of generous people in this world. They've supported us. We have sponsors that come back every year because they love what we do. So I think the biggest thing of help that I could use personally would be, one, if you're interested in hockey and you want to volunteer and help, definitely, drop me a line and let me know. But if you have any creative ways of getting the word out to the blind community, whether it be a partnership with the local NHL team, AHL team, some other way, maybe you're a social media guru, you know how to get things going viral. Like I said, there's a lot of people out there that used to play, that had to give up, that don't even know about us. And I'm trying to reach them, and I'd love to have some help on that.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and put this out to our listener base, to the folks that are on our Maple Capital Partners newsletter, and post this on our social feeds so that we can hopefully get the word out. And, like the individual that you mentioned there, maybe there's somebody out there that played hockey or is interested in playing hockey that's also visually impaired. And you just never know what that can kind of lead to. So yeah, we'll be sure to get the word out on our side. And again, just really appreciate the work that you do for that community.
Yeah, I just love it, and my kids love it, and I appreciate this opportunity to talk about it.
For sure. All right. Thanks again, Ted. And for anybody interested, feel free to reach out to me and I'll absolutely connect you with Ted. We'll also link to his contact information in the notes of this video. Thanks, everybody.